Smart pro traders use higher time frames, and they've got a reason for it. And I'm going to show you what that is today. And I'm going to show you why smart pro traders use higher time frames. It's something that people can't get their head around. Patience is one of the biggest issues in the market, and we're going to talk about that today. And we're going to talk about why traders use higher time frames and why they gravitate towards higher time frames. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Rob. And for those of you who do know me, I am still Rob. It's Coffee with Rob. We're going to have some coffee and we're going to go and we're going to have a look at why we use higher time frames. There's always a good reason for everything, isn't there? Let's move my ugly mug out the way. Let me just move it as far away as possible so that it doesn't get in the way. And then we can talk about why traders like to use higher time frames. Let's take this as an example. This is the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500, we trade on the 4-hour, by the way. And what you have to understand is that the markets are 50-50. The markets are 50-50 because human beings trade in the market. Human beings are the ones that decide whether a price is going up or whether a price is going down. Not squiggly lines, win rates, or anything to that effect. The only way you can make money in the markets with these squiggly lines is by having a business plan and by having a strategy in the market, which we're going to talk about at the end of this video. I know I talk about it in every video, and some of you have said, but Rob, you're repeating yourself. But if I don't, you guys are never going to figure this out. You guys are never going to get to the bottom of what is causing you to lose in the markets, why you can't seem to get ahead. Now, one of the biggest issues that I've found with the guys is the lower time frame trading. On these 4-hour time frames, on this time frame here, and on the day, you can put this on the day as well, because that's position trading. There's a day. And if you take it back to the 4-hour, there's a 4-hour. Did you notice how the chart changes, how desperately it changes? That's because it's on a different time frame. You've got a different amount of candles, and every candle on a 4-hour is valid for the next 4 hours. Now, if you take a trade on a 4-hour chart, you are getting a much more reliable trade than if you take a trade on a 5-minute. And that brings me to the point of most traders lose while trading. Now, on a 4-hour or a daily trade, 60 to 80% of traders actually lose. And on 5-minute trading, 99% of traders lose. In other words, trading is insanely risky. You're probably going to lose money. And if you don't like losing money, you most probably shouldn't be trading. But then why do we trade on the 4-hour rather than the 5-minute? Is it because of the 99% and the 60%? No, it's not. No matter who you are, if you're trading on the 4-hour, I can almost guarantee you that you believe you're going to be part of the 40 or 30% of people that are going to make a profit. And if you're trading on the 5-minute, I can guarantee you that you believe you're going to be part of the 1% that's going to be profitable. There's just no way around that. That's just who you are. That's just human beings. But here's the thing, guys, and here's why the risk becomes insane. If I take a trade on a 4-hour trade here, if I was to go long on this S&P 500, I would probably put my stop loss on my business plan at around 58.20 to 58.30, anywhere in that region. That would give me a lot of space for, let's say I'm taking $250 risk, which is 1% of my account. It would give me that space to trade within. It would give me that room to trade within. And I'd be happy with that. I'd have quite a few points between 59.50 and 58.20 or 58.40. It gives me a lot of space on the stop. But if I take this down to a 5-minute chart, and you can see already how insanely different that is. Suddenly, if I want to take a long trade on this, my cost is 59.48 and my stop loss is 59.41. 7 points for the same risk of $250. And this is only valid for a 5-minute trade. So in other words, if this moves 7 points is going to take my stop loss out. And yes, you can say I'm using the same system and I'm putting risk management in, but your risk is that much higher. And the other reason I trade on the higher time frame is I can put a trade in, leave it, and go away and not worry about it at the end of the day, not be concerned about what's going to happen to my trade or where it's going to go. Let's put this back to the 4 hour. And you can clearly see that on the 4 hour, I do hope you can't hear those fans running in the background. There we go. On the 4 hour, you can clearly see that that candle is so small at the moment that it would be irrelevant whether it was going up or down at the moment. You put your stop loss in, go to the beach and come back later, which brings me to the point. You can just go to the beach and come back at a later time and just enjoy your trading instead of sitting watching these charts all day long. I can guarantee you, I can literally guarantee you, if you were trading on 5-minute charts, you would say, just like all the other traders do, oh no, I'm only going to come in and I'm going to trade for an hour. I'm going to make a couple of $100 and that's me for the day. I've made my money. I'm out of here. I'm gone. You won't see me for the rest of the day. I'm done. And that's what I'm going to do every day. But what happens to those traders is this. You may think this is true, you may not. But what they do is they come in, they trade, and they lose $200 rather than winning $200. The immediate, obvious thing to do is to try and revenge trade that and try and get it back. And you take a second trade, you lose another $200 or $300. And then you think, well, I've got to get that back, and you keep on trading. The hour goes by, it becomes 2 hours, it becomes 3 hours. In fact, it becomes the whole day while you're trying to get that money back because you don't want to leave it over to tomorrow. You want it back today. Every day goes on like this. You don't come in and trade for an hour and walk away. You come in and you trade the whole day non-stop because that's the only thing you know how to do. Whereas if you're trading on the higher time frames, you find yourself sitting back, relaxing, and letting it take its place. How do we trade this, by the way? How do we trade on a chart like this? If you look at this chart, we've drawn trend lines in. Normally what we would do is we would take our levels from the higher time frame. So you draw your support and your resistance levels. Now, if you go to my other videos, you can have a look at how we draw those support and resistance lines in and how we draw these trend lines in. Trend lines are the easiest. Trend line trading is easy because you just need it on 3 points and you've got a good trade. If it stays above this level, we go long. If it breaks through that, it's a change of structure and we go short. We trade 3 ways, guys. We trade in a trend. A trend is your friend. This is a trend. A trend is your friend. This is going to the upside. So we're going to stay long on this for as long as we possibly can. The other way that we trade is in a range. Now, I wonder if this is in a bit of a range. No, it's not. It's actually bearish and going down. But the other way that we trade is in a break of structure. If this breaks to the upside through this line, then it's going to the long side. If it stays in a range in a flat line, then we trade in that flat line. Let me just see if there is something that we can look at that is in a nice little flat range that we could use. Don't seem to be able to find something offhand. So I wonder if the FTSE is here, UK 100. That's usually a good example of a range. This is also not really changing it, but this small piece here might show you. So a range here would be, if we look at this, let's take a horizontal line. You say, that's the bottom, and then we get another horizontal line. We say, that's the top. So it's trading in that range. So in other words, when it gets to the top, you sell. When it gets to the bottom, you buy. It gets to the top, you sell. So you would be selling the UK 100 at this level. That's effectively what you would be doing with this particular trade. So that's a range. To get these levels, just watch my other videos and they'll show you exactly how to get to these levels. But what we're talking about today is most traders end up trading on the higher time frames. And why is that? That's effectively what we need to talk about today. Why do pro traders end up on the higher times? Because you would think that any trader that's been in the market for a really, really long time would in all likelihood end up trading on the shorter time frames, not the longer time frames, because they've got that much more experience. If you look at the main big pro traders in the big companies, they trade with large sums of money. And you guys know that I've told you on a regular basis that our one sole job in the market is to look for liquidity. So we look for liquidity. And if you have large amounts of liquidity, you have to look for more liquidity so you can make that purchase or that sell. Do you know that the pro traders don't keep stop loss? They don't use stop loss. They can't put a stop loss in place because their trades are too big. They can't have a stop loss and then they've got hundreds of millions of dollars involved and there's just not enough to trade it. There's not enough liquidity to trade it out. And that would cost them money because it would start taking more and more and more and more and more and more as it goes, and it probably wouldn't finish the trade. That's why if they have a stop, they sit and discuss that we need to get out of something. They don't stay in something or have a stop loss. So it's much easier for pro traders to trade on higher time frames because there's much more liquidity on a higher time frame. So what I equate it to as well is if you wanted to start a business and that business involved testing a product, you put 5 people in a room and you say, test this product for me and then I'll start my $1 billion company. And what happens? They come out, 3 of them say it's a great product, 2 of them say it's rubbish, and you start your $1 billion company based on that. Whereas if you had a hall and you put 1,000 people on there to test your product and 800 of them came out and said that's a great product, that you might start your company on based on that kind of information. And that's the same as trading on a 5-minute chart or a day chart or a 4-hour chart. The 4-hour or the day chart where you position trade is putting 1,000 people in there to test your product. You've got lots of good information coming back and you can take the trade based on that. There's also a lot of liquidity involved with that information. Tons of liquidity that you can find in a trading platform with that information. That's why the more experienced traders tend to gravitate towards the slower trading, tend to gravitate towards the higher time frames. There's more money, there's more liquidity, it's more relaxed, and it's more accurate. You have to be patient. The big thing you have to learn in trading is patience, and you have to get over your fear of missing out. But how do we take these trades? How do we get into these trades? What do we do to make money in the markets? How do we trade so that we don't lose? And that is a strategy. It's a business plan. Would you start a factory without a business plan? In all likelihood, probably not. You need a business plan. You need to know where it's going to be. You need to know if you need staff. You need to know if you need stock, machines, whatever. You need to know all these things. You need to know how much money you need to start with. Funny with that with trading, we don't seem to need money to start trading, do we? It seems to be rather easy to start trading. Guys, while you're here, don't forget to join the members area so you can get Trade of the Day every day and find out how to make that money. And if you do need funding to get started, there is a funded account in the description below for you, and also a free Forex book, which will help you along the road. Now, the big thing with the strategy is this. What I do is I risk 1% of the account on every single trade. Now, the trick is to keep the risk the same on every single trade. Keep the risk the same. Don't change the risk. That's important. That's really important. And then how do you work out the stop loss? Let's go and have a look quickly and I'll show you. I just need to move this picture out of the way and I can just quickly go and show you how you can work out a trade without too much difficulty. So it's quite easy. Let's use the S&P 500 to do this. So let's say you wanted to create a buy trade on the S&P 500. You weren't quite 100% sure how to work out your stop loss. What you would get is you have this come up and you want to do a buy trade and you've got this down here. In most trading platforms, you get this. You don't get it in MetaTrader 5. You'll have to download a little program off the MQL5 to do this. If you want to make a buy on any other particular program, this is a funded account that I use. You can work it out like this. Go to your stop loss and say, I want to lose, this is a $25,000 account, so I want to lose $250. maximum. I don't want to lose more than $250. And I want my stop loss to be at 58, let's say 58, 58.30. I'm not going to buy this, but let's say I was going to buy it. My stop loss is at 58.30. So that would give me on 0.1 loss, a loss of $116. I said 1%, so 250 is where we want to be. So we're going to put it 0.2. That gives us $234. That's more than fair. That's good enough. That's perfect. It doesn't have to be exact, just in that area. And then take profit. You want it to be around the 6,100 level. So then you just put the 6,100 in. That gives you a $300 profit. Now you want to make more on your wins and lose less on your losses. So here you're making more on your win. It's not exactly 2 to 1, but it's 1.24 to 0.94. It's good enough, guys. You're losing 230, you're making 307, you're making more on your win, and that's the important part. But in all likelihood, in the 10 trades, you're going to lose 5, win 5, and what you want to do is make more on the wins, and that's as simple as it gets. Now you've worked out your stop loss. Now you just have to buy it and manage your trade. Manage your trade, and that's as easy as if it goes down towards the stop loss, do not dollar cost average, do not move your stop loss. And if it goes into profit, don't get out with a $50 profit. If you're targeting $306, try and move your stop loss up to cost, make it break even so you're not losing anything, and then just follow the trade up until it wins. It's a 2-step business plan. It's not that difficult, maybe 3 steps. You don't have to write it down. It's not that complicated. Everybody thinks that it's so complicated, but it's not. It's actually super easy and not difficult to use in the slightest. I hope that helps you. And if it doesn't, go and watch the other videos, because I tend to repeat these things over and over again. Maybe they'll give you much more information and they'll send you in the right direction towards becoming a profitable trader. Don't forget, keep your feet on the ground, like, comment, and subscribe. Watch the last videos for more information. Until the next time, cheers, ciao.